Good evening, everybody. Bringing you a literal mountain shower. We've just had some rain over about the last hour. One more. What are you manifesting? Good to the last drop. Oh, I hope everybody's had a good weekend. Hello. So the Rose, I have this favorite parking place when I go walk at the lake. Those of you who were here in either August or October know exactly where this is, right? And they have this, so this walk on this side for maybe, I don't know, quarter of a mile is rose bushes. And this one, this one is the favorite rose bush that I like to park in front of. And yesterday was the first rose on the rose bush. So I had to get a picture of it, and I thought I would share it with you tonight. So that was fun. It's little things like that, right? Just the little niceties that flavor up life. So there you go. That's where I start my walk. So I got, let's see, got the rose on this side. And then yesterday my daughter texted me, "Did you see the Kentucky Derby?" And she's just fascinated with it because I went to the Kentucky Derby, I don't know, 10 or 12 years ago. And she'd love to go. And so there, and I texted her back. I said, "No, but I've got my own little run for the roses going right here." So there it is. It's pointing the wrong side. That one over there. Okay. So anyway, so I've got the mountains that I love and the lake and everything tonight. So we've got a good scene. All right. So the guy that I always like to say hello, Arnaldo. Why? Because it's not 8:30 where Arnaldo is. It's not 7:30 or 6:30. It's 2:30 in the morning. So my goodness, thank you for getting up. That's awesome. So yeah, Esmon, it is. It's my Zen place. It really is. I've thought about, you know me, I don't sit still very long, but I sure have thought, man, I don't know if I could live without that lake. It's just so wonderful. It is so great. Kristen, okay, announcement time. Back right here, wherever you're joining us, you will be able to find us on Wednesday night at 7:30. We're going to do another group pop-up reading. And after I show you the one little thing that I have to show you tonight, you're going to want to be here. It's going to be really cool. It's going to be a lot of fun. We have a full group of people, and it's going to be absolutely great. Brenda, how are you? And we can, this Brenda, our other Brenda, another Brenda, we can say a prayer for tonight when we do our meditation. Just remember that she's not feeling so good tonight. So glad you guys are here. All right. Oh, hey, who is this? Let me go over to Facebook real quick and see if I can see Cheyenne. Cheyenne, right? I hope I'm saying that right. Cheyenne. Great to have you. Thanks for being here. Yeah, first time. Great. Glad you're here. Well, oh, good. Okay, great. Got it. All right. Yeah, I am too. This is going to be fun. And we have a new technique for those of you who are into the astro, and you're going to, well, we have a new technique that's going to be really fun. It's going to be great. So join us. We'll show you what it is. Okay, I'm going to tell you something right now, that the price of admission for this card is worth the whole night. You see how close I can get that up to the camera? It's the Queen of Wands. The Queen of Wands. Isn't that, look at her expression. I just love this. Here's the deck, as you know, the Light Seers deck, which is the Light Keyers deck right now, but that's a deck that a lot of you have now because Brittany Greer showed it to me and did a reading with me And then she came on our October trip, so she was here. And this deck is just on fire. So it is just amazing. Mary, great having you. We got some new folks tonight. This is great. Glad to have you guys. Glad to have you. Alyssa, if you guys are not familiar, you new folks, Alyssa has joined us here. So has Kristen. They both have filled in for me when I need a little break. And then we did one together. And then Kristen and I did one last weekend. So we've just got a great team here of folks. So you'll be seeing a lot of Alyssa. She does a Tuesday night meditation, and we often simulcast it from our Facebook page, but you can find it. There will always be a link, so you can always get there. So yeah, we've got great energy tonight, huh? All right, let me read about this Queen of Wands. This is like so cool. Okay, so on the positive side, the Queen of Wands is creativity, passion, determination, confidence, joy, bold expression, healing others as you build your queendom power. On the shadow side, jealousy, being afraid to take a risk. That one's come up for me big time this week. Not being totally honest with yourself. An optimal time to build your self-confidence and not let go of what other people think. Let's see. To let go of what other people think. We're in the shadow side, so that's where I was like, okay, hold on. And I've got my progressive lenses on, so like it's blurry up here and clear down here and that thing. Let go of what other people think. Waning passions. I've kind of felt that maybe some of us have been losing some of our passions during this stuff. Well, Brenda, thank you so much. That is so honoring, and I'm sorry that you're not feeling well, but we are going to goose you up with some energy. That's what we can do. So good. All right. Now, let me read this to you. You are capable and fierce. Look at her expression. She's like, this gal is in charge, large and in charge, right? It's time to root into your purpose and boldly step into the limelight of your life. The Queen of Wands radiates creativity and passion wherever she goes. And when she enters a room, her exuberant charisma and confidence are palpable. Don't be afraid to be the center of attention for goddess's sake. For goddess's sake, let me read that again. Don't be afraid to be the center of attention. Don't be afraid to be the center of attention. And for goddess's sake, stop acting small in order to make those around you more comfortable. May I do that again as we look at the card? Don't be afraid to be the center of attention. And for goddess's sake, stop acting small in order to make those around you more comfortable. Make sure that fiery bursts of productivity accompanied by laughter and gratitude, connection, appreciation, and love. It's okay to hold shadow in all of this light. Don't push it down so deeply that you can't find it again. Accept the parts of you that you don't openly share, the past failures that have held you back. They don't define you. So transmute that shadow, sit with it briefly, and then light it on fire because you don't need it anymore. Poof. I fill my world with an intense light that connects and incites passions. Told you that was it. Boom. Wow. That was an amazing card. Just an amazing card. Told you that was going to be worth it. Isn't that great? Joy and abandon, rock on. Absolutely. So, you bet, Melissa. I didn't pull it. I didn't choose it. It came up. Hey, Melissa, good to see you here. Oh, wow. Oh, my. And that one in Dallas yesterday is up there where my brother is staying right now. So, it's great. Wow. This is interesting. Good, Brittany. Good for you. That's awesome. All right. I have one thing to show you, and then we're going to go into our meditation. So, let's we can chat up too if you guys have some stuff that's come up this week. I mean, obviously, as we're talking even right now, the conversation about yesterday, and I guess I hadn't heard about the one today. We've come through a lot of energy this week. I felt it. For me, it's been, like these situations. It's been a kind of a week of losses, I think would be the main theme. It's been a tough week. I've had a tough week. It's been an emotional week. Several things have happened. Like, I don't know, just the theme, I guess, would be loss. So if you guys have some comments and you want to talk about that, why, drop them in there because we do have a little bit of extra time. But let me show you this one thing, if I may, that kind of comes from my world, my combined world, if you will. But I want to show you in setting this up why, when I found astrology and I started to study it and I started to see the correlations and I followed through how my life had unfolded according to the mirror of what it reflected, the directions that it shows ahead. By the way, forgot this. If you have a candle and you want to light it, be a good night for it. Mercury retrograde with the candle. I thought this was only technology. Well, this is technology, I guess. I'm not kidding. It's not like you can't make this stuff up, folks. So funny. Oh gosh, so funny. Hello, Jack Wires. Good to see you in here tonight. Oh, an alchemy. Cool. You go by Ed or Edwin? Good to see you here. See, on the StreamYard, if you don't click a little link, like these folks whose names show up, there's a link in the post that you have to click. And if you want to do that, the names show up just here on our chat here. Ed. Okay. Ed, great having you. Thank you. Thank you very much. Well, see, I'm not alone. Thanks, Esmon. Silly lighter. I know. It's like, oh. Okay. So listen, this is when I then a couple of years ago, this was probably 2020. I'm thinking it was during COVID. I found this guy who was a stock market trader on the Chicago futures pits back when they had those. They don't anymore. It's all computerized now. They don't have the schmuck coats are now hanging in window boxes in people's living rooms. They don't do that anymore. It's a dinosaur. But back in the day, you'd have hundreds of people in the pit, the outcries, and people would be all the hand signals and all of that. If you remember seeing those things, that was how the markets were traded. And that was the energy that drove the prices. Now, of course, behind that were trading desks, and behind that were customers, retail and institutional. So the whole thing, but it all converged on that floor. And this guy had a seat on the floor. He was also an astrologer, and he directly correlated intraday. So from the morning to the afternoon during the session, he connected that when certain planets aspected, the price would move slightly. But on a 1 minute chart, he plots the aspects and then watches for certain criteria you have to hit. It's a little system that he put together, but it works about 75 to 80% of the time. And that seems to be the astrological correlation. Well, what I found here was, if you look at this, and this is where I'm saying is right now, our guide, we've been given this guide, right? So this is the S&P 500's futures. So like what this guy was trading. And this is a daily chart. So each one of these bars is 1 day. And if you look at the tops of these bars, like come over here to Virgo on the right, we'll go from right to left because the right side is the most current. You see that little peak up there? On that day, the moon was in Virgo. All right, go back now. You see that next little peak up? And the day that happened, the moon was in Aries. See the next little peak up? The moon was in Virgo. See this one down here? The moon was in Aries. And the next one, the moon was in Virgo. So what moon do you think I'm looking for next? Now, this is not a consistent pattern. It will reshuffle on you. However, until it does, you have this repeating pattern of literally following the moon into certain signs leads to tops and bottoms. And I didn't have time to pull the bottoms, but same pattern on these lows. So like that bottom right there, the moon, I don't know what it would have been in. I'm not sure. Just a couple of days ago. But then you just follow it back, and most of those bottoms follow the same pattern. All right, let's keep going, because you can also do this with other aspects. And this is what this guy, Norm, was trading, was when a planet aspected something, it would move the market. He was just looking at it on a very short-term basis. This is looking at it on a daily basis. But let's look back here right in the middle. Jupiter square the moon and Jupiter sextile Mercury. And look, that was the top of that little retracement. And then boom, it fell. Go back. Oh, let's do this. Let's hop over because I want to take a running start at this next one. Come all the way to the left. Sun square Neptune. You see that great big peak there? Well, the bigger the planet, the bigger the influence. Neptune is obviously one of the bigger, slower planets. Look at the impact of that one day when the sun squared Neptune. Made a great big run up at a top and then triggered the fall. And at the bottom, and I'm sorry I didn't realize that I was cutting it that close to the bottom, but it says full moon. And then get this, down there at that bottom, that trough down there, it says full moon, if you can't see that. And then right there is also the sun trining Uranus. Now, Uranus is a surprise planet. It's like anything can happen. Boom, up it goes, up and up and up for a month until the sun squared Uranus and it topped out before going boom, back down for at least another month. So this is where these planets affect the markets. And I know that I say this quite a bit on the Fun Astrology podcast, but boy, when you really see it and you see that these certain aspects appear at these pivot points. So in other words, what's happened to the price at these intersections? It pivots, it shifts, it changes. These are changes of energy. And that's exactly what happens in our lives every day. That same kind of thing happens in our lives every day. And you could boil that chart down to an 8-hour day. Could you not? You wake up, you have a big energy spike, you have your coffee, you're feeling pretty good, and then you check your emails. Boom, you're down, right? And then you do your meditation and you do your work and you crawl back up from that and you get feeling pretty good, and then dang, a text message comes in and boom, back down. and then through the day, up and down, and then you get low blood sugar, and you kind of crash through the floor, and then okay, here we go again, back up, and that could be our day right there. And we're being influenced by the energies in the sky. So it really is this amazing picture. And this is where I feel that these different aspects that are coming, that are in the chart right now, are showing us like we can anticipate when these energy periods happen. And just like a trader would buy or sell, we can take energetic actions around these movements. And we've got a big one coming up on Tuesday, because the sun, as we just saw in this graphic, back over here where it squared Uranus, now the next move over here where we are is the sun is conjoining Uranus. So that's tomorrow, or Tuesday. Sorry, that's Tuesday. So that's a big deal. That's a big day. So we've got a lot of stuff that in the next week on Wednesday, and I talk about this tomorrow. So those of you who are interested, just roll you over to the Fun Astrology podcast in the morning. But next week, there's a big one with a big square. We'll just put it that way. It's big energy on Wednesday. So we've got May is going to be a real interesting energetic month. And I know you're just like, I don't want any more energetic months, but you know what? This is all of us. And I'm seeing, is this Scott? Looks like it is. I think this is all of us. I fell asleep in that chair over there probably 4 times this week, where I literally, before getting myself upstairs to at least brush my teeth, fell asleep right there and slept hard. Weird. Never done that before. Never done that. This is really cool. So Arnaldo is saying that he got this intuitive solution to a technical problem. That's awesome. Reminds me of the story from Think and Grow Rich, where he was stuck on the title, could not think of the title. Publisher was demanding it, saying, we've got to go, we've got to roll with the book. And I forget what the name was, but it was like this just plain vanilla name that they could come up with. And then finally, he went to sleep one night and just said to his subconscious, the material from the book, right? Show me the answer to the question of what the title of this book that I've written should be. And said that he woke up the next morning and there it was. Think and Grow Rich. And of course, it sold over 100 million copies. So pretty incredible. So, wow. This looks like that stock chart, doesn't it, Alyssa? Up and down and up and down and up and down. Well, that's what we're navigating. And that's why we're getting together here on Sunday nights, so that we can do what we do here and set our intentions and navigate that energy. So it's as the moves go up and down, we know that there are influences, and we know that we can lock onto some of those influences. And that's how we stay positive. All right, let's see here. I'll catch up on a couple of things. Oh, okay, great. Tom, you're welcome to if you want to. Yeah, a little bit, for sure. For you, it is. Maybe not for others. It's not just you. It certainly is not. Yeah, it really is incredible how it affects so much. I mean, the full moon and animals, the full moon and human animals. I mean, it really is incredible. But yeah, we just came through a full moon. We just came through a big dual eclipse season with a lot of heavy energy. And unfortunately, certain people are choosing to express it with violence. And I saw that one was actually a vehicle, using a vehicle. So it's like, if somebody wants to tear something up, they can do it with anything. So, oh, now hold on. So baby boy coming, full moon views, sunset skies, skydiving, baby reveal. It's a boy. Congratulations. And it's been a fun weekend. I'll bet. Wow. That is awesome. So cool. Woo. Boy, you did light it up. That's great. That is so fun. And congratulations to you both. That's just fantastic. That's great. All right, you guys, let's focus in here. I got this. He sure did. Yeah. It's great. We're happy for you both. And what's really cool is that little boy is going to be raised to understand conscious living. I wish I had another mic outside. It's raining so softly and gently, and just a good little mountain evening of showers. So it's perfect for a good meditation. I recorded a meditation for subconscious mind mastery that will be out early next week. I have to put music on it, and I just needed a screen break today, so I didn't do that. But I will, but it's going to be really good and centering. So let's center in now here. And the first thing that I'd like to do is to send Brenda some healing. So why don't we do what we like to do here and touch the device or some connection with our togetherness. If it's a phone or a tablet or laptop or desktop, maybe even just the keyboard or the mouse. And in doing that, we are connecting our energies and sending Brenda healing energy. Especially to her head, the back of her neck, her shoulders. Picture in that area of her body, warm, but not hot, massaging. And then those of you who do Reiki, would you just do some Reiki symbols right there real quick for her? Just quick. Focusing that energy, this group energy, transmuting it right to that area of her body. And then also the top of her head, the forehead area where migraines show up, the temples. Send the same there. Sinuses. And while we're on this theme, we have one special member And I'm just going to ask you tonight to trust me. Maybe the stories will come out soon, but I'm very familiar with the situation, and this special member, do the same. Just trust me on it. Send healing energy. It's also in the head area, especially on the left side. Just in general. And then let's celebrate with Tom and Bridget. They're like family here. And now bringing this wonderful additional life into the world. They're raising a conscious army. You know that? And they can do it. They're good at it. This is the form of their calling. So let's just support their family now. Support those precious kids, soon to be 6. And then I'm scrolling back here, get Arnaldo. And first of all, send Arnaldo love. The man for a year has gotten up at 2 a.m. to be a part of this group. Every week. Let's send him love just for that. And then as he continues with this business, this inspiration and this invention, let's send him protection, but also I'm envisioning a path, a clear path. A path that he understands. He can see the twists and turns. It's not a straight path, but he understands the path. Understanding, wisdom, knowledge to move this business forward. And now for all of us, in the spirit of that, for those of us who have been sleeping a lot, for those of us who this week has been emotional, for those of us who have had stuff come up tonight, or today, we mentioned today. loving arms of comfort to all of us. We need it. It's like the universe is right there. I am loving awareness. What is God? What is Source? What is our highest power but loving awareness? Pass the energy around and do what I've been doing. Target certain people whose names you have seen and send energy their direction. Scroll through the comments on whichever channel you're on if you need to refresh your memory. And if you don't know the name, if it's symbolic, then send it to them in that extra special way of transmuting energy from one place to the next. I don't read charts like I did before right now, but I had 2 opportunities this past week where people asked me questions, and as Steve Forrest said, you always, okay. One was actually a medical question, and one was a horary question about traveling. And as we looked into the charts together, each time, maybe only 2 days apart from each other, randomly casting a chart, randomly asking a question, and those questions were so dead on with the charts that it was almost hauntingly scary. Very specific details. In one case, a person from the past showed up in the chart very clearly. And then one of the people had a reading several days after that, and the reader drew several cards, and 2 of the cards were exactly the same theme that came up from the chart. Now, how does that happen? We are energetically connected, is how that happens. And it can show up in a deck or in an intuitive perception in the middle of the night, or randomly opening some software and clicking a particular time and having that chart read it as although it was like it was a news story. We are connected, and we're connected with the universe. So if you roll that forward and you think about what we saw with that stock chart, we are always, every single minute, connected in this triangle between our lives, between us, the things going on in our life, and God, the sky, the universe, source. The planets, they're just a reflection. If you are wise and you learn how to read the planets, you got a map. But in that interconnected energy right now, let's give each other a great big hug. We're in a circle. We're standing beside a mountain lake. It's sunset, and it's gently raining. Our clothes are soaked, and we don't care. The air is crisp and clean. The sky is clear. And we are just in one big circle of love shared with each other. Connect through that computer or that phone or that tablet and share that love right now to all of us. And now, if you've been sleeping a lot, if you've been feeling this energy, if you've been under angst, you know the world is feeling it. And yes, it's showing up in the headlines. Send that world love. It needs it. Don't keep it in. Push it out now. Picture that love going up from our circle, up into the sky, being picked up by the ethers, by the angels, by the energy forces, by what we've all probably seen at some point, either by image or in person, the northern lights as the sunspots have increased. That energy, carrying it. The energy of a rainbow. Where's the end of a rainbow? It's everywhere. Yeah, picture a big rainbow of love going around the world in a full canvas, not just a strip, everywhere. It's all the colors. It's all the radiances. It's for all of us. We all need it. Let's do one other thing. While we have a big rainbow coming up out of our group, let's ask the angels to sing as we continue to share that love with each other and with the world. So whether it's healing or comfort or security or encouragement or love or celebration or gratitude, wherever it is that you are, let's invite the angels to sing to us now. Can you feel it? Can you even hear it? An angelic choir in our ears, in our spirit, in our soul. Singing to you just what you need. Singing to the world peace and hope and love. The Queen of Wands. Creativity, passion, determination, confidence, joy, bold expression, helping others as you build your queendom, power. You are capable and fierce. It's time to root into your purpose and boldly step into the limelight of your life. The Queen of Wands radiates creativity and passion wherever she goes. And when she enters a room, her exuberant charisma and confidence are palpable. Don't be afraid to be the center of attention. And for goddess's sake, stop acting small in order to make those around you more comfortable. Make sure fiery bursts of productivity are accompanied by laughter and gratitude, connection, appreciation, and love. It's okay to hold shadow in all of this light. Don't push it down so deeply that you can't find it again. Accept the parts of you that you don't openly share. The past failures that held you back, they don't define you. So transmute that shadow. Sit with it briefly, and then light it on fire, because you don't need it anymore. I will fill my world with an intense light that connects and incites passions. And so it is. And so it is. Wow. Glad for all you first timers. Thank you for joining us tonight. It was great. Good having you. Ah, isn't that true? Brittany, we hear them in our mind, don't we? You keep listening. They're singing to you. I am loving awareness. Some hearts from down under. And so it is. For goddess's sake. That's some energy you can ride right on into Tuesday, Alyssa. Ah, the rainbows dancing in the sky. Amazing. Thanks, Lisa. You have a good week too. Glad you were here. Thanks, Esmon. Your presence is uplifting. Just being here. Love it when you're when you're able to join us. All right, you guys. Hope you all have a wonderful, wonderful week. Thank you. This was good. Really appreciate it. I needed it too. I was having to lead it, but I was doing it for me as well. So I'm right in there with you. You guys have a great one. Thank you so much. Sending all kinds of love. We'll see you on the podcasts and in between. Take care. Thank you, Arnaldo. Infinite thanks to you for getting up. We'll see you guys. Have a great week. Bye-bye.